Double, double, boil and bubble. Better watch out, because this movie's trouble. Well, welcome back to another unfortunate case of movie soulmates. My name's SoulKeever.
And I'm Astrid.
And we just watched Hocus Pocus on Disney+. I guess it's kind of turned into a Halloween classic now, even though it got pretty lousy reviews when it first came out. Wasn't until it started airing on like ABC and Freeform and stuff here, and the Disney Channel and all that, where people decided, oh, we finally love this movie.
Yeah. I think it's one of those like slow burn cult classics.
Yeah. And yeah, I never really hated the movie, so I'm kind of surprised that it got lousy reviews when it came out.
I think it's so much fun. This movie's great.
Yeah.
People always go hard on the kids' movies, but I think they have a different they have an expectation of it like it's an adult movie, and it's not.
Yeah, I really have to judge a movie for the genre that it's in. Like,
Yeah.
you can't take Hocus Pocus and judge it on the same level as what, like a horror movie or something?
Yeah, like it's not gonna be Alien.
No, of course not.
And there's no reason to expect it to be.
No, it doesn't need to be. It's already got all the elements it needs. It's fun all by its own. So I guess let's go right now into what we thought this movie was going to be. Well, God, it's been a while since I've seen this for the first time.
Right.
Well, what did you expect this movie was going to be? What do you think?
You know, the first time I saw it as a kid, I'm not sure I knew it was going to be a comedy. I think I was expecting something scarier.
You know, I don't think I expected a comedy either. Well, I also didn't remember or expect to see so much fan service in the form of Sarah Jessica Parker's boobs.
Yeah, there's that. That always happens to them.
Yeah, they showed her cleavage a lot.
Right? An unnecessary amount for a kid's movie. Someone was like, okay, divorced dads trying to pop in that hour with their kids. This is motivation for you to sit through it? Like, I don't know. It was weird. Why were they doing that in a kid's movie?
They got so into it that they even had her singing a brief song where she kind of just stretched out her arms and
she was like touching herself. She was gyrating on her broomstick. It was and then she would like fall down on it. You know, it was weird. Like, we get that it's a pole. We get it. We get it. You don't need to grasp it.
I'm not complaining because I enjoyed it, but still.
And she had like a little, I mean, not that it's like inappropriate to have midriff showing, but it was like they were trying real hard to make it look like she was as unclothed as possible. I feel like it was, to me, it looked like that costume originally had a shirt that went underneath like the rest of the costumes, and that they made her take it off.
This wasn't exactly a frumpy old witch. This is the kind of witch you'd want to go out with.
Yeah.
I don't think that she necessarily matched with her sisters.
Yeah. You know what? That makes it a little odd that there's a point where they take the bus because these girls steal their brooms, and the bus driver was hitting on all three of them equally, and not that they're not all great women, beautiful in their own way, but like, come on.
Yeah, I mean... The one, what's her character's name in this movie? Her character's name is Sarah Sanderson. Okay, Sarah was riding in the bus driver's lap.
Yeah, like she was also the really horny one.
And she was really into it. Like, she's into all... I'm getting the vibe from this movie that she's into all dudes.
Yeah, she's the horny witch, which again is weird to have in a kid's movie, but...
Hey, fan service.
Yeah, I mean...
Gives us an excuse to show off Sarah Jessica Parker's cleavage.
Yeah, I guess they made all kinds of inappropriate jokes in like old cartoons and stuff, so...
Yeah,
keeping up with a rich tradition.
It's tried and true. Well then.
Jokes for the parents, jokes for the kids.
That way the parents don't want to, hang themselves from a balcony and the kids have fun.
Yeah. Paw Patrol, take note.
Mm-hmm.
Add some cleavage? Are there human characters on Paw Patrol? Otherwise that statement becomes very disturbing.
I have no idea.
Okay,
hopefully. I have never watched Paw Patrol.
Neither have I.
I can't say one way or the other. Well, let's get into what this movie actually was, I think. So, you know what? These witches, played by all three of these actresses, Bette Midler, Kathy Najimi, and Sarah Jessica Parker, they were chewing every scene they were in. They were really getting their fiber on the set of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Bette Midler.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
Bette Midler was hamming it up like she'd never hammed it up before.
Mm-hmm.
She was acting for the rafters is how big she was.
She was. And you know what? I wonder if this is one of the like first live action movies that I would have seen as a kid with like a bunch of powerful women in it.
You know, gee, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not something I've really thought about, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that's part of why I love this movie so much.
I think it's funny that, Sarah Jessica Parker here has what we would call a subdued performance in comparison with the other two.
You know
Who were
what?
mincing all over the screen.
That's what I thought before I started watching it again, and then I was like, no, her character's just a little different, but she's just as committed.
Yeah, she's a little ditzy. She hams up a little bit in her own right.
Uh-huh. A little ditzy. She was a total ding dong. There's this part where the cops come to their door, like, hey, there's witches in here. We heard there's witches. And she's like, no witches in here. And she's like, no, just us and the little girl we're about to eat.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that saying, she's the dumb one.
Yes.
It was very obvious at that point that what we were getting ourselves into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I enjoyed that she played it up.
Mm-hmm. She was great. And then I loved all their hairstyles.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of remarkable the way that Kathy Najimi's character was wearing her hair in the actual shape of a witch's hat.
It was so great.
None of these witches had hats. Where the hell were the hats in this? Why didn't they have like big, fanciful, pointy hats?
I don't know. I would say that it's because in the Salem days, they would have had to be incognito, except that they were super still dressed like witches, so I don't know. I really don't. And they had the giant cauldron in the middle of their, like, one-room cottage.
I guess, in their defense, in this movie, they're only brought back to life for one night.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't exactly have time to go hat hunting.
There's that. Yeah. I love how, if we're guessing that they don't have hats to go incognito, when they're casting their spells, this giant purple light comes out of the top of their cottage and just, like, lighthouse beams for the entire area to see.
It's not really subtle.
And it's, like, I guess part of what draws the children there, the children that they want to eat for their youth.
Yeah, but then the adults look at it and say, well, that looks awfully strange.
Yes.
Maybe we should go check that out.
Yes, maybe we should go burn this cottage down.
And they were actually kind of justified in doing so.
Yeah.
For a change. The Crucible, this is not. No, turns out the women are actually eating the children.
Yep, they're super eating those
kids. In a very literal sense. Well, I guess they're more eating the souls, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they don't like actually eat the bodies and stuff because it's a Disney movie.
Yeah, not that we know of. Not on camera.
No, not on camera. But when we finally look at them, in the opening scene where they quote unquote eat the child, they're just kind of sucking her soul and they're aging her and she turns all ghastly white and they become young.
Yeah. They like brew this potion with like dead man's toe and whatever the heck else in it. And then they feed it to the kid, and then she starts glowing, and then they can suck, like, her essence out.
Yeah, when they finally have that old movie, like, glow around the character, that's when you realize, okay, this is where the bad stuff is going to happen. This quality 90s special effects.
Yeah, it reminds me of, although, of course, this would have come first, but it, like, reminds me kind of, like, when the Dementors are sucking your soul out in Harry Potter.
Mm. See, I don't remember Harry Potter all that well because I never read it.
Well, it's in the movie too. If you ever saw the movies,
I've only seen maybe a few of them.
Okay.
I was never into Harry Potter.
Okay.
Womp womp.
Your mother has better taste than you.
I bet she does. From the woman who watches Big Brother constantly.
Nothing wrong with trashy reality TV. I'll die on that hill.
Big Brother, Survivor, you name a reality TV show, she's into it. Didn't realize one woman could watch so much trash TV. You're right there, you're going to cough up a lung.
I'm all right. Some of my cocoa went down the wrong tube.
Clearly.
Mm.
There you go.
I'm not a baby. You don't need to burp me. Wow.
Gonna have a little spittle there.
You're so rude. This coming from Mr. Wetbeard.
I love the way these witches also had like this. Well, I'm not going to say that I necessarily love it, but they have this inconsistent knowledge of the present, where they go around all these houses because it's Halloween night, where they come back to life after a virgin lights the
black flame candle.
Oh yeah, the black flame candle. It's made with like the fat of this
of a hanged man.
Yeah.
Although it sounded like they said hangman, but the caption said hanged man.
Yeah, it's a hanged man. And, you know, this candle was so big that I kind of wondered, how did this guy not break the noose?
I mean...
What?
How many pounds of body fat do you think it really takes to make a candle?
I don't know. I don't make candles.
I don't think it takes that much.
Don't overanalyze it. I'm just making a comment. Bleh. Anyway, there you go. They're going around house to house after they ride the bus, and they find out all these children are out now, and you know they're kind of hungry, but all the children are little impish things now, and they kick them in the shins and they chew them out right in the open.
Yeah. Well, it's that they don't know, I don't think, exactly what Halloween is in the present day. So, like, because they've got that, like you said, that inconsistent knowledge of the present. So it's like they're familiar with Halloween as that day when the veil is thin and spirits can get through and all that stuff. So they go out and they're like, oh, yeah, hobgoblins, you know, nightmarish creatures, other witches, cool. But where are the kids? I smell kids.
Well, they died 300 years prior to this, so their reference point would be the late 1600s.
Yeah, yeah. So they're like, where are the children? I smell children. I don't see children. And
then they find the children and they're trick-or-treating. And then they find their master.
Yes. Yes. Their master, Satan.
Yes. Which, very, very heavy-handed reference there.
Yes.
Not exactly subtle. Oh, they're definitely devil worshippers now.
That's why at the end she says, you sold your soul, you'll always be ugly. You sold your soul to the devil. Devil worshippers.
Yeah,
that's what witches are.
Yeah, they go to this old dude's house who's dressed as the devil. He's like wearing boxers on the outside of his costume and shit.
Yeah, I don't get why he invites them in though, because it's like, you think maybe he's got a Halloween party going on in there.
Nope.
But then he lets him in, and it's just his wife and her curlers eating popcorn, watching TV in her bathrobe. Like, pissed that he let someone in.
He's just a horny old man. I mean, he was dancing with Sarah Sanderson. My God, can you drink that cocoa?
I'm having trouble, man.
You all right?
I don't know.
Do you need to put the cocoa down?
I don't know.
Yeah, this old man invites all three of them into the house, and he's just a horny old man because he's dancing with Sarah Sanderson in the middle of the living room while the wife goes upstairs. And as soon as she comes down and sees that, she is mightily pissed.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm going to bed, thinking like, you know, you better get these ladies out of here. And then she comes back down, and they're just like slow dancing.
Yeah, he's just giving away all the Clark bars and dancing with the pretty one.
Oh yeah, he did. He was giving these grown-ass women full-size candy bars.
And these women were very obviously, well, Jessica Parker's younger, but the other two were very obviously a little older.
Right. And then he's like, but honey, they call me master. And she's like, yeah, what do you see what I call you? You know.
Implying that she's going to hit them with something after they're gone, of course. And they realize after they leave, oh, I don't think that was actually the master.
Yeah, because they're like, you shouldn't talk to master this way. You know, and then once they see that he was so easily dominated, then they put together people are wearing costumes, and this means something more shallow than it used to.
Maybe they can put together the clue that the master doesn't wear boxers on the outside of himself. His normal costume. That might be a pretty good clue.
Yeah.
So it's like right after this, because, you know, while they're there, one of them is flipping through the TV and whatnot, that they all suddenly have all kinds of knowledge of the present, which I don't even know how that would be. How would they make all kinds of references and stuff to stuff that they didn't even know about 24 hours previous?
Yeah, they use like slang that's way too modern.
Yeah, this really bothers me about a lot of different movies where they do period pieces and these characters are making all kinds of modern references. Like, this
Uh-huh.
person was born from yay period. How the fuck would they ever know about that?
Yeah, yeah. And especially because in the movie, when they're talking to each other, they bother a lot of the times to use that old timey, like, English tenses.
Yeah, they use like dost thou understand and all that,
Yeah.
the archaic English type stuff.
Yeah, that, like, yeah, that thou formal tense that we don't even use anymore. So, like, you bothered to put that out into the universe, and now you're being contrary.
It's just inconsistent writing, which
Yeah.
I think is a knock against this movie.
Yeah, like there's no reason for them to also know words like dude and then, slang like what was it, like tubular or something weird like that? Didn't they
Yeah.
use some weird California slang?
Yeah, they were using
With
all that
Max.
surfer slang. It's like they
Yeah.
watched a Pauly Shore movie before they went on set.
Exactly. Ooh, exactly.
And no one likes Pauly Shore. Not even back when it was popular did anyone like Pauly Shore.
Not even Polly Shore.
He had that
Shore.
he had that sweet window from like 93 to 96 where people kind of gave a shit about him, and that window went closed.
Smacked shut.
Yeah, like Biodome came out and everyone said nope.
No, bye.
He literally was only in like 4 movies before people said I think we've seen enough.
Yeah, that's because that California type, like, stereotype is a little annoying.
Yeah, Pauly Shore's annoying as shit.
It's annoying. And
Literally his own mom told him that he didn't have what it took to be a comedian. And she ran the comedy shop.
Ouch!
Like his mom is famous. His mom is like Mindy Shore, and she ran this, comedy cafe where all the big time comedy guys go and deliver their stuff, and she told him, "You don't got it."
That's hilarious. Oh my god, that's so bad.
And then he still kind of made it. Well, he made it briefly, and then he went crashing down like Icarus getting too close to the sun.
Hilarious. That'd have been like if Dolly Parton told Miley Cyrus, like, you suck, you're never gonna do anything, stop singing.
That's a little bit how it was.
Oh my god, that's great.
Oh man, yeah. He still succeeded it a little bit. So kudos to him for beating the odds. Jesus Christ. So their big thing here, these witches, is that they're going after this kid named Max Dennison, the virgin who lit the candle, and his friends, because they have their beloved Necronomicon-style book with it's bound to like human flesh, and it's got like an eye that pops open, and I don't know why they never poke the eye in this thing to make it slam shut, like...
Because it's a magic book, and it might, I don't know, bite you or curse you.
Oh yeah, the eye's gonna magically turn into teeth, whatever.
I don't know, it might open itself. Like, the rules with this book are a little unclear. Isn't there doesn't it clasp shut?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't really develop the rules in the fucking book. The
Exactly.
book isn't the point.
Well, but the book, okay, but like the cat keeps telling them, don't open the book, don't open the book, nothing good comes from the book. So I feel like we're taught to fear the book.
Yeah, don't open the book. They didn't say anything about not poking it in the eye.
I mean, okay, sure, technically, but like if the whole point is that we've got like metaphors to fear Satan and don't open the book, don't even play with devil stuff because you might accidentally sell your soul, like metaphor, that satanic panic spillover from the 80s,
Oh, God.
then like wouldn't it stand that the more traditional metaphor of don't poke a sleeping dragon in the eye would also hold true? Don't poke the evil thing in the eye and piss it off.
Whatever. That's just crazy talk.
I mean, I'm not poking the evil book in the eye.
Well, it's probably the smart thing to do, but it would be an interesting plot point for the movie since the eye just keeps...
You're like, I'm a white man. I can poke it in the eye and nothing bad will happen to me.
I'll be alright. You don't know if you don't try it.
You're like the guy that opens the mummy's tomb.
I'm Brendan Fraser.
Curse!
Well, in the end, I'm also the hero, so I guess everything works out.
No, wait. Brendan Fraser did not want to open the mummy's tomb. You're the guy who gets salt acid blasted in his face for your hubris.
Well, I guess I would have that coming, wouldn't I? Yeah. Oh boy, this nerd lights a candle in the cabin because he's out there with his, like, pretend girlfriend and his little sister. Like, he wants to go out with this girl, and he's just an absolute nerd.
Yeah.
She doesn't really want anything to do with him, I don't think, but she kind of goes along with it anyway because her party's lame.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think part of it is because she's clearly really into the witch stuff, and he's very obviously not. And so then she's not interested in him, and so then once he starts showing an interest in the creepy stuff, then she's like, okay, you're gonna try and be the right kind of bad boy. She didn't like him being the other kind of bad boy. So he's like, all right, I'll be bad. I'll light the candle. And you know what? I feel like it is possible that they could have also gotten rid of the witches by blowing the candle out. Because they keep talking about the black flame candle's power. The candle's almost out.
It's a little weird that they never tried that.
Right. That would be easier.
It would be the first step to think of. Like, okay, lighting the candle here brought these witches back. Why don't we just try...
Yeah.
Did that work? No? Okay, well, process of elimination. Let's get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah, plan B now. Okay, but at least we tried the easy thing first.
Also, why didn't they just bury the book?
That's a good question.
They clearly don't know what to do if the book's never opened, so wouldn't they just dig like a shallow grave someplace and just toss it in there?
How about a medium grave? Maybe not a shallow one, then it's just gonna wash ashore like Jumanji.
What do you mean it's gonna wash ashore?
I don't know, it's gonna get unburied.
How's it gonna get unburied?
Shallow graves, I don't know, animals dig stuff up if it's human skin.
It's not gonna be long enough for any of that to happen. They only got maybe a day or a night before they have to die again and the candle burns out.
Yeah, but there's other evil stuff in the book. Do you want more witches?
What? What witches? Where are there other witches?
I don't know. Do we think these are the only 3 witches on the planet?
Who the fuck knows? Who cares? These are only 3 witches presented in the movie. Therefore, they're the only 3 witches we have to care about.
Well, yeah, okay, but unless there's more, I don't know. I feel like they got their power from the book. So then if more people get the book, can't they then become witches? I don't know. The rules are a little unclear.
The point is, the candle is lit, the witches are back. That's all that really matters. Their spell book, if they don't have it, they're helpless, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they can't create all the spells that they want to, so you just keep the spell book away from them. You just dig a little grave, throw it in, and what are they going to do? They're going to, scour the town. They're going to scour the town looking for all kinds of things. Where are they going to look?
I don't know.
It's going to take them longer to find the book than the candle has.
Yeah. So then it's also unclear to me why Winnie leans her head out the window and calls to the book like it's going to come to her.
Yeah, I know. There's a reason this movie got bad reviews.
It's unclear. Like, can the book fly to her like a broomstick?
No.
Okay.
Unless you saw it happen, it can't do that.
Then why is she calling to it like a lost pet?
Because it's a stupid movie. Literally everything you bitch about can be explained by it being bad.
All right, so then on to the next thing that I'm going to bitch about that bothered me. California boy, Max. So there's this thing that keeps happening to the witches. They never get like a Tupperware container and put their stuff in it, something with a lid. They just leave it bubbling in this big cauldron, right? And so inevitably, when they're being fought, somebody kicks it over and they lose most of their potion. So at the end of the thing, climax of the movie, they've got enough left for one child, right? And they're like, I want to get this, little virgin's sister or whatever it was.
I'm a little disappointed they didn't eat at least one kid.
They started to eat the little girl.
Danny?
No, the little girl.
Danny Dennison, that's his sister.
Oh yeah, she's one of the little girls with boy names. All right, so yeah, he starts to eat the little girl, and then they start to eat Max, but they never finish anyone. I would have liked to see those kids wind up with a gray streak, by the way, because they should have aged.
Yeah.
Maybe a wrinkle.
It would have been nice to see them age a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more variation, but I don't know, maybe they had limitations back in 93. Who knows? They could have
They
done.
had hair chalk in 83 or whatever it was.
They could have done aging makeup and stuff. Maybe they were just over budget.
Maybe.
Because that, you really get the vibe from the Winnie statue after they're defeated that the budget kind of just ran out at some point, like mid ending, and then one of the Disney executives said, no. We
gotta wrap this up.
We gotta wrap this up. We're funneling all the money into the Lion King now.
Yep.
You gotta wrap this shit up. Here's $50.
Yep. Oh man.
And then he just said, make it work.
Oh man.
And this statue looks like one of these nun restoration things after you see Winnie turn into it.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll get there in 1 second. Then my thing with California Boy is when they have enough for the one thing and they're trying to feed it to the girl, he steals the potion, but then instead of just dumping it on the ground, he drinks it. And he's like, now you have no choice but to take me. And it's like, we've established that if the potion is spilled, it's no good. Why wouldn't you do that?
I don't know. It's a bad movie. Literally, it's a point that can just be explained by it being bad.
Yeah.
That's why I told you after the movie is over, I'd only give this maybe like a 60%.
But it's so fun.
It doesn't matter if it's fun. It's got a lot of stupid plot points that don't make a lot of sense.
Give it at least a 7.5. You.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Cheap bastard.
6 out of 10. It's better than it got.
This Winnie statue. Are you gonna insert a little clip of it?
I don't know. I might insert a picture or something just to show you what it looks like, because it looks absolutely ridiculous.
It is. It's bad. It's like, okay, because, we've talked about how Bette Midler's chewing the scenery, right? So when she's, like, turning to stone as the sun's coming up, she's like, no! And then she freezes to stone here, but then you get that, immediate transposition from her to the stone, and the stone face is one of the worst pieces of sculpture you will ever lay your eyes on.
I cannot believe that this was the sculpture they went with.
It's bad.
It looks nothing like her.
It doesn't.
It's ghastly.
It is. It's really bad. It looks like it belongs as one of those background paintings in Ghostbusters.
And well, that's about the end of the movie right there. Right after that, they kill the cat who Danny was going to take care of for years and years, and her children were going to take care of it, and her children's children. She was making a big promise to this kitty that they found.
Right. She was all excited to have this pet that she loved, and this kid really doesn't show a lot of affection outside of her brother.
This kitty was just this kid that the witches cursed back 300 years prior, because he came to save his sister from getting eaten unsuccessfully. By the way, the kid got eaten.
Yeah.
And so they turned him into a cat, and he's been a cat, just, eating mice in the sewers for 300 years. And he was about to live on Easy Street now, getting all the tuna that he could ever ask for.
Yep. And instead,
we got a dead cat, and he goes off with his sister by the gates of the cemetery or the park or wherever it was. And I just looked at it and said, why don't you just take your sister and get out of here?
Right. He's trying to comfort little Danny, and you're like, no, she's just got these little crocodile tears running down her face. And, here's my thing about that, is there's no other character in this movie to establish that that's how it had to go. She had this one, ex-boyfriend that she had, that Winnie had brought back to life, that, she had tortured and killed. And since he was already dead, when the spell was broken, he just became re-dead instead of, reanimated again. But, this kid, he wasn't dead. She turned him into a cat, so he should have either turned back into a boy, or his spirit should have left and the cat should have just been a regular cat. There was no reason in a children's comedy to kill the cat.
It was stupid.
Straight up.
It was a little too real for a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
A children's fantasy movie. Why did the cat have to die?
It didn't. It absolutely did not.
And I guess I could see the kid being turned into a boy, but it also comes with a host of problems that we saw in Ernest Scared Stupid, where the children are finally turned back into children. Unfortunately, it's 300 years in the future, so they're going to be a little bit of a fish out of water, aren't they?
Yes, yes, which is why I would have gone the method of his little spirit gets to leave the cat's body. He's reunited with his sister, and then the cat's a cat, and Danny gets a cat.
Should have just let her
Just a
have the
regular
kitty.
cat.
Should have just let her have the kitty.
At least take her to an animal shelter and get her a regular cat.
Well, they're not going to do that. It's
That
just
was
gonna
just
it's just gonna
sad.
pad out the movie then.
That's just sad, though.
Doesn't add anything to the movie when you do that.
Basically ended on, you went from Danny's tears, her little kid tears, to these parents leaving the dance hall having the best night of their life.
Yeah, it was a real jarring experience watching, the two tones kind of conflict with each other. Oh, the parents are having the time of their lives. They're just sweating. They just thought they had a big old party, even though a witch told them to dance till they die.
Yep.
But meanwhile, the little girl just lost her best friend in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah.
Brutal.
This little girl's awesome, by the way. She comes punking her little brother throughout the whole beginning of the movie.
She does.
Her big brother.
She's
She makes him look
hilarious.
stupid at every turn.
Yup.
This kid's so lame, he gets his shoes stolen at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's how lame he is. Like, he's not even, like, in the city or anything. He's just such a nerd that some bullies decide, you know what, we're going to take your shoes. And they do.
Yeah, he was talking shit to him, and there were two of them and one of him, and he didn't think that through.
I was low-key rooting for the bullies anyway.
Oh my god, okay, speaking of, so these bullies, at one point the witch catches them, and I just think it's funny, because, like, man, did the 80s and 90s take a harsh view on, like, bullies. Like, nowadays, you see a lot more, like, you get into the origin of the bully, and then you, like, help them become not somebody emotionally who wants to torture people anymore. Back then, you're a bully, you deserve to die. And these kids, they get trapped by the witch, put in these bird cages hanging from the ceiling. And then at the end, when these kids, like, go to save the sister, they just take the shoes back off the bully and they leave them in the bird cage.
Yeah, and they got, like, no way out. If they want to get out of those cages, the witches are dead now, so they're going to have to pick their way out of these cages if they got any hope.
Yep, they were just sitting there singing to each other at the end.
Yeah, singing the classic public domain song,
Row, row your boat.
Like, we've seen this we've seen that song in so many movies because it's free to use. We saw it in Troll 2. We've seen it in, there was another movie that we saw that I just can't remember the name of it, where they were singing Row, row, row your boat like it's their favorite song ever. Yeah, they do that in a lot of movies. Well, that about sums up Hocus Pocus in a nutshell. It's an okay movie with some really dog shit writing here and there.
Wow.
Hey, calling it how I see it.
It's a great movie with an occasional blunder.
It's okay. It's not great.
It's a classic.
I guess it depends.
Why do you hate strong women?
Who the hell's saying anything about strong women?
You love Ernest.
Yeah, because Ernest, all of its plot points line up at the end.
Not all of them.
Most of them. Most of what you see in Ernest Scared Stupid can be explained by the writing. That's the difference. It's kind of sad to say, but Ernest Scared Stupid is written better than Hocus Pocus.
I mean, it's a good movie. I don't know that everything in it is explained.
Well, maybe
It
not.
has its own plot.
I won't
holes.
say everything, but Ernest Scared Stupid, I'm just saying its writing is more airtight than Hocus Pocus. Obviously, it's an Ernest movie, so the quality is going to be Well, let's get into our Amazon reviews of Hocus Pocus, shall we?
Yes.
All right. Well, as always, we've culled some reviews from Amazon. We've picked 3 5-star reviews and 3 1-star reviews, and we like to start with the 5-star reviews. And our first 5-star review comes from Seth, who says, "Pleasantly surprised." Nice job there.
Hey, don't be rude.
I was told by my Uncle Stan that this was the sequel to Beaches. Boy, was he wrong. Around 30 minutes into the movie, I was wondering how the hell did Bette Midler from Beaches time travel to 16th century Salem? And why did they kill her off at the beginning of the movie? Why is she killing kids? And is that Sarah Jessica Parker and the fat nun from Sister Act?
Yes!
Then I realized that my Uncle Stan was an alcoholic. And this movie didn't have anything to do with the heart-crushing dramatic film Beaches. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, though. Just don't tell my mom I watched a movie about witchcraft or she'll make me move out of her basement and go back to City College.
Oh my god. What? That took a sharp left turn into bizarre.
I love those dumb reviews. These people. Alright, this next one comes from Katie, who says, I'm obsessed. I am totally obsessed with Hocus Pocus. I'm one of those crazy fans who has a few copies of the DVD, so when one gets worn out from overwatching, I have a backup. And one of those people who keeps out Hocus Pocus decorations all year around. Yep, that's me.
Okay.
I'm one of those crazy people. And to be completely honest with you, I signed up for Prime so I could get this movie on digital, so I will always have it. Plus, I can watch on my phone or iPad, so basically anywhere. I do not have to worry about it getting bad.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot, Katie.
It's a lot to take in right there. Jesus Christ.
Single are you, Katie?
All right, now our last 5-star review comes from Miki, who says, best movie ever.
Does anyone actually need to read a review of Hocus Pocus? It's basically the greatest Halloween movie of all time. Hands down, if you haven't seen it, I wouldn't tell my friends because they will disown you. I am a mom of 2, ages 3 and 1, and finally after 30 years, I was able to dress up as the Sanderson sisters for Halloween. Dream come true. Buy this. Watch it every day. End of story.
Oh, that was delightful. Thank you to these 5-star reviews. Now let's
She's
go.
making her 3 and 1-year-old watch that every day.
Can
we report abuse? There's a report abuse option right there.
I'm not sure that's the kind of abuse they want to report. 3 and 1. What's a 1-year-old going to take away from Hocus Pocus?
Nothing.
Yo, no.
Put on Hocus Paw Patrol.
And then again, I guess I was 2 years old when I watched Batman for the first time, so whatever.
Yeah, are we saying that was a good decision?
It was fine. Don't be a wimp. All right.
Wow. Rude.
Let's go to our 1-star reviews now. And our first one comes from Carl, who says, The Cabal's favorite movie, Satanism and Children's Sacrifice. Oh, boy.
Technically true?
A perfect example, Hillary Clinton and her practices.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Pizzagate QAnon, dude.
This is supposed to be family friendly, but is by far the opposite. It is a cheeky way for them to expose you to child sacrifice for their gain of power. These people are sick.
Jeez. 3 people found that helpful.
Why Hillary Clinton?
People are misogynist, and they like to blame Hillary Clinton for literally everything.
What the hell does she have to do with Hocus Pocus?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, this next one comes from Amazon customer who says, because what, quote unquote, fun a good Halloween hanging is. A Halloween treat for everyone. I would say this is at least for 10 and over, if not higher than that. First, let's talk about the hangings that happen in the first few minutes. We can gloss over that because what fun a good Halloween hanging is. Thankfully, for an awesome family treat for everyone, we also have zombies rising up out of graves, cats dying, and my favorite by far is saying virgin 85 times.
Virgin is said in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a way to terrorize your child and for a little extra Halloween fun, explain what a virgin is, then this is the movie for you. Not to mention that this story is awful, the acting's atrocious, and in general, this is just a waste of time. If I wanted to give my child nightmares without explaining the birds and the bees, I would have just had them watch The Dark Crystal. At least that's a good movie.
My mom wouldn't let me watch that one as a kid.
Aww. Yeah, I forget your family freaks out about witch stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, if my mom knew that this one had the Satanism references, she probably wouldn't have let me watch Hocus Pocus.
Oh boy.
Catholics, man, Hispanic Catholics, they superstitious.
Yes, I've gathered.
Okay, Wiccan.
Yep.
For a pagan, this movie is hideous. If you are a pagan looking for a good movie for your children, this movie is not it. I can't imagine making the Salem witch trials an object of fun. If you want something good to watch, buy the British-Canadian series called The Worst Witch, or watch Harry Potter again. This is just another Disney demonizing of witches and/or pagan. It's no wonder they had a lot of problems on set filming this movie, or that at the time it came out, the pagans in Los Angeles held major protests. Avoid this movie. It's not fun in the least. 11 people found that helpful!
We just had to hear from the... hear from the crazy witch crowd.
People protested?
It's probably just Wiccans throwing a bitch fit because of the depiction of witches.
Of course it is. Wow.
And you know what? Who really cares?
That was a lot.
Yeah, well, Amazon reviews, everyone. Thank you for contributing to all that wackiness, and we really did enjoy hearing from the Wiccans, the Wiccan perspective. To which I say, LOL, who cares?
Keep it coming.
Indeed. Well, what would we learn from this movie, do you think?
I learned don't park your broom outside on Halloween.
I learned not to light strange candles.
No.
Actually, I might be okay because I've had sex.
I learned don't fake interests because you might end up way in over your head if you fake interest in the occult.
Ooh, God, yes. I learned that Halloween is about candy and only candy.
Yes. I learned sometimes it smells like children, but you don't see children. And you should be way more concerned than people were when they heard that phrase.
I learned that bullies don't really care about foot fungus.
No, they're not a practical people.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that you can ride a vacuum cleaner like a broom. I
learned that Sarah Jessica Parker's cleavage deserves a musical interlude.
Yeah, it did.
It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Life lessons from Hocus Pocus, everybody. Took away some things.
We did.
We're better for it, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your final rating for Hocus Pocus?
Ooh, I give it the power of sisterhood. I give it delicious child essence. And I give it the power of virginity.
Okay. I give this a spilled cauldron, a run-over cat, and, well, whatever they were having over at the dance party with the parents.
No, jungle juice?
Oh, almost definitely. I mean, these kids were going to this party, and their parents had this vacant expression on their faces, and I'm just looking at this going, kids, your parents are drunk. Like, this little girl, Danny's trying to talk to her mom, and I'm just like, Danny, your mom is so high right now.
Yeah. They all started drinking jungle juice and taking edibles.
Girl, you got to give it up because mom's out of commission for the next 12 hours. Yeah. Well, I enjoy this movie. It's a pretty decent movie, and you should at least give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll have some fun with it. It has a few plot points here and there that don't really make a lot of sense. But, as long as you don't let that bother you too much, I think you'll have a good time.
Definitely.
Especially since the three lead actresses, Bette Midler, Najimi, and Sarah Jessica Parker, are all acting on 10.
They're an absolute treat.
Unfortunately, we can't say the same quality applies to the child stars. But then again, they're really not the focus of the movie quite so much as these three.
Yeah, that's why I never like gambling your movie on a child star. They're unpredictable.
Ugh.
Kids are always unpredictable.
I really don't get the fascination with casting child stars all the time.
Right? You're probably not gonna get like a Macaulay Culkin or a Dakota Fanning, so
Yeah,
stop trying.
It's very rare that you actually get like a good child actor.
Right?
Like the Macaulay Culkins and the Dakota Fannings and that one girl from The Land Before Time and the All Dogs Go to Heaven are few and far between.
Didn't that girl die?
Yeah, she was killed by her father
Yeah.
in like this big murder-suicide thing.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Which is too bad because the guy that made All Dogs Go to Heaven wanted to use her in all of his future stuff because he thought she was great.
Yeah, she would have been going places. She would have been like Shirley Temple.
Oh yeah, she was really on her way, and she had quite the resume by the time she died at age 10, or however old she was.
Yeah, about 10, 11.
Somewhere around there, but bummer.
Yep. But yeah, you're more likely to get like an Olsen twin or a Sprouse twin.
Or a Lindsay Lohan.
Or a Lindsay Lohan.
Which, hit or miss. Well, the Olsen twins haven't done anything in forever, and they don't really need to, I guess.
No.
Anyway, I think it's about time for us to head out. Next time on Unfortunate Case of Movie, we might watch Hubie Halloween.
Yes, I love an Adam Sandler movie.
It's an Adam Sandler movie, so let's be realistic about our expectations here. It's probably going to have lousy reviews. They all have lousy reviews, but I'm already looking at what the reviews look like for Hubie Halloween, and they're pretty bad so far, so I'm having hope for this one. I think it's going to be a stinker.
He's really perfected the art of making bad movies that perform well.
Yeah, I don't know how Adam Sandler keeps that ship afloat.
He knows people love to hate watch him, and he leans into it, I think.
He really does. He goes and makes an occasional uncut gems just to flex. And then he returns to making his bullshit because that's where the money is.
Yeah. He's like, just so you know, it's because I choose to do things this way.
I do this because I love to make you angry.
Yep. Could I be Brad Pitt? Sure. But I like it this way.
But I got so much more money than Brad Pitt. So yeah, we'll probably watch Hubie Halloween. And we'll probably watch a third movie this month. Probably either Boo, A Medea Halloween, or Ernest Scared Stupid. Maybe we'll do Boo. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
Boo was fun.
Yeah, it's fun even though it's god awful.
They're actually both really fun.
God, Boo is terrible. Tyler Perry.
Boo is one of the worst Halloween or Medea movies, though.
Tyler Perry should really be ashamed of how bad that movie is. My God, and I can't believe the sequel is even worse than the first one. I thought maybe he would learn from his mistakes, and he did not.
No.
He doubled down on them, is what he did.
Yep.
Fuck. All right, well, it's time for us to head out now. So, if you want to check out our Twitter page, we can find us at Case of Movie on Twitter. And of course, you can find all of our podcasts, well, the most recent ones within the last 3 months on Spotify. We also have a lot of our older reviews on our YouTube page. Every couple of weeks, we upload a new episode, well, a new old episode. So, with that, I think it's time for us to leave you. Until next time, love from us to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.